13 people were stranded at sea for 3 days and 3 nights. Amid the chaos, one person accidentally got separated from the group. Just as everyone was sinking into despair, an island suddenly appeared ahead. The group, facing certain doom, instantly regained hope. Summoning their last ounce of strength, they struggled to reach the island. They thought they had narrowly escaped death by sheer luck. But before they had a chance to celebrate, a eerie howl suddenly echoed from the island. Just as everyone was frozen with fear, Tom, who had previously gone missing, suddenly appeared. It turned out that Tom had actually turned misfortune into fortune. He had discovered the deserted island before anyone else. The screeching sound from earlier was just a prank he had played. After a brief rest, Tom decided to explore the island for survival resources. Luckily, they successfully found an ample supply of fresh water and discovered large schools of fish in the waters. After a week of life and death struggles at sea, they finally had a hearty meal and spent their first night on the island in peace. But the next day, a torrential rain hit the deserted island. Seeing this, Matt suggested that everyone venture into the jungle to explore. No one knew how long the downpour would last, and perhaps they could find shelter deep within the jungle. Everyone agreed with Matt's idea, and the group immediately set off into the depths of the dense forest. Before long, they indeed found a thatched hut. The interior was covered in cobwebs and thick with dust. It was clear it had been abandoned for a long time. Mary dug out a large pile of canned goods from a cabinet inside. Just as everyone was about to eat, Matt stopped them. Matt pointed out that they didn't know how long they'd be stranded, and that they had to conserve their food. But no one agreed with him. They agreed that regaining their strength right now was the priority. Matt's attempts to persuade them were in vain, so he had no choice but to leave. Meanwhile, the others found several sets of clean clothes, a total of 12 sets, perfectly sized for each person. The only set missing was one for Matt. The group didn't think much of it, assuming it was just a coincidence. The next day, Jim, who has autism, flipped through a notebook they'd found in the house and seemed to discover a crucial clue. He then ran off alone toward the mountaintop. By the time their nanny, Kelly, noticed, Jim had already vanished. Everyone immediately split up to search the area. When they reached the mountaintop, they discovered 2 graves. The sight sent Kelly into a panic, and she grew even more desperate to find Jim. Seeing this, Matt immediately suggested they split up to search. Soon, someone spotted Jim's footprints. Following the trail, the group successfully found him. But by then, Jim had already fallen unconscious. Just as they were examining him, Jim's face suddenly filled with fear. Kelly hurried over to comfort him, and only then did he calm down. After everyone returned to the thatched hut together, Nick quietly told Matt that he suspected Jim had been attacked by someone, but since Jim has autism, he couldn't speak up to reveal the truth. So the group had no way of knowing the exact reason. At lunch, Matt proposed 2 survival options. First, to gather supplies and find a way to escape. Second, to learn wilderness survival skills. He suggested that everyone divide the work and cooperate. Tom would lead a group to prepare distress signals, while he would lead another group to learn survival skills. This plan was approved by everyone. Everyone immediately sprang into action in an orderly fashion. The men were responsible for repairing the cabin and building a raft, while the women took charge of cleaning. Everything proceeded in an orderly fashion. During this time, Jim was lucky enough to find a female sheep, and the group's life on the deserted island settled down for a while, as if they had settled into a stable communal life. That night, Tom lit a bonfire on the beach and relaxed to his heart's content while drinking the hard liquor they'd found, almost forgetting the desperate situation of being stranded on a deserted island. The next day, Matt, accompanied by several women, set out for the beach to bring food to Tom and the others, only to find Mike collapsed beneath a dead tree. Fortunately, his life was not in danger. The group immediately grew suspicious. Could Mike have been attacked? Just then, Jim stared at the dead tree and realized something. The outline of the tree hollow resembled the pattern in the notebook. Matt speculated that there might be other people hiding on the island, but Tom immediately dismissed this theory. The island was so remote and rarely visited that it was impossible for anyone else to be there. Afterward, Tom continued building an escape raft and soon had a makeshift raft ready. To test its safety, Tom decided to take it out to sea himself, but the raft capsized almost immediately after setting out. This attempt to escape was a complete failure. Just as Tom was making his way back to camp, a masked figure lurking in the shadows quietly set his sights on them. Immediately afterward, the masked figure hurled a throwing knife at them. The man quickly picked up the knife, preparing to counterattack. Tom, however, misinterpreted his actions, thinking Jack was about to attack him, and, terrified, turned and fled. Jack didn't have time to explain and had to give up the chase. He turned and ran after the masked figure instead.